I've landed with My Name's Rocky. I'm hoping Lily Zoom is the one that nails the start, and My Name's Rocky can just idle up alongside it and then be able to take over in the middle part of the race and get the job done late. So I've gone 6, 1, 8 and 7. You could make the case for quite a few of these, Patch.
And Brett, for your on-topper in Yan Dharma, we just heard from Dallas Messina, and she's probably seeing it as clear as what you boys are. Not 1,000% sure what he's going to do, but at least from the ability that he's got, looms as a big threat.
Yeah, look, I think if he puts his best foot forward, he's not a $4 shot. I can tell you that now, but it's obviously a big if, and it was not too long ago. But yeah, I'm very happy with how he looked at Shepparton. The trial just shows that how well he goes around Bendigo. And it's interesting in the Grey Areas podcast earlier today, George Ferrugia mentioned how the outside draws over 425 can be advantageous. So I thought that was interesting. I'm pretty happy to stick with Yan Dharma. And My Name's Rocky. Exciting to see a greyhound like this who's slowly improving each start come up against some greyhounds who have had 20, 30 starts as well.
All right, they just finished up at Redcliffe. Sky Racing 1 will be with us very soon. Thanks, Bordeaux. Now, this is the Pink Diamond rookie short course over the 425 metres. Corey Smith, you firstly. You're with the green. He needs a bit of room, but geez, he can run like the wind.
Yeah, he takes probably 10 metres, 20 metres to get going. My Name's Rocky, but this dog has enormous upside. He's one for the Black Books. He's nice and strong, but that mid-race pace is what I'm looking for him to capitalise on. I'm hoping Lily Zoom can put a little bit of heat on the kennel mate on the inside, Electro Jet. They're the two that'll battle it out. My Name's Rocky, just idle up alongside them, take over in the middle part of the race and storm home. I am conscious of Yan Dharma, who I know Brett is really keen on, but my numbers are 6, 1, 8 and 7.
And Brett, you like Yan Dharma, and this greyhound number 8 has been $13 into $3.90, and that doesn't surprise you.
Doesn't surprise me at all. Really well drawn here. I've gone 8-6-1 for him. With Yan Dharma, this greyhound trialled here in 23.66. That is very quick. That's winning this race. Did everything right at Shepparton last start. Yes, there is a question mark on this greyhound, but if he puts it all together, I can assure you he's not a $3.90 short. 8-6-1-4 for me.
And Electro Jets is the favourite at $2.70. Let's get up to Dan Hibbard for the third, the Pink Diamond rookie short course.
And there's plenty of upside with a lot of these runners, hence the nature of the rookie moniker to this race. Plenty of young talent, and there'll be plenty of speed in this one. Favourite Electrojet 270. Yan Dharma's been crunched on fixed odds into 380 from the pink draw. 460 the green. My Name's Rocky. Race number 3, the Pink Diamond rookie short course. They're set, ready, and away, and flying out was Lily Zoom, and it landed a length and a half in front early over Star Fury, Electrojet. Yan Dharma around the outside. Between runners was Devington. They get clear, getting checked there. Star Fury back with My Name's Rocky. Well back was Ellis Unit 1 and tailed off. Taste That. It's Lily Zoom and Electrojet. Clear on Devington. Electrojet reached the lead from Lily Zoom, who's trying, but Electrojet won it, beat Lily Zoom, and I think Devington will run third, just ahead of Yan Dharma fourth, and then came My Name's Rocky from Star Fury, Ellis Unit 1, and Taste That has failed to finish, and the time is 23.778.
Well, first of all, let's hope it's not as bad as it looks with number 2 in Taste That. But while that was happening, it was Electrojet getting the chocolates, and let's not muck around. Here's Ethan Christian with Michelle Malia.
Round out here, and I've got the motley crew with me, the Quinella of the race. I got Michelle and Jack. Got the upper hand early, Lily Zoom, but Electrojet came home best.
Yeah, we did say that she's a better box dog and she was going to get out in front, but she's not overly strong. But I did say that he had to do everything right so he didn't get in trouble behind her, so he could have a crack at running her down. But brothers, sisters, I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've come from a litter and a dam you've had a lot to do with, a lot of success with, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You must be thrilled.
Absolutely, you know, like they're the next litter down from Matlock, and the old boy's having his last start tonight, so in the veterans. So it's good to have them coming through now, knowing that he's coming to an end, and it's exciting.
Yeah, it's nice to have a bit of a legacy continue going forward. I know Stomping as well was a very talented chaser as well. And speaking of Matlock, what are we making of his chances in his final ever start?
Oh, look, you know, as long as he gets around safely and he's on his 4 legs at the end, that's all we care about at this stage. So you know, we hope he goes out with a bang, but whatever happens, happens.
Very pragmatic approach. Congratulations, guys. Go and enjoy the Quinella. Michelle Malia, Jack Osborne, first and second. Lily Zoom got the upper hand early, but home came Electrojet. It was a great race. Well done to the guys.
Thanks, Ethan. And here's a reaction of Michelle Malia and Jack Osborne. They've been a great team. Jack does a lot of work for Michelle, and they've obviously celebrated the success of that superstar of theirs in Matt Locke over the past couple of years. And who knows what these two are capable of. Smithy, two big performances tonight. They've gone 1-2, and it really matters at the start of their career.
Absolutely, good performances from both, and Jack pulls off a bucket hat much better than my Rude Pill does, so he's got plenty going for him, Jack, and big future in the sport as well as these two dogs do. And Lily Zoom just does what Lily Zoom does, and that is go out and run them a merry dance from out in front. Electrojet had to work hard, he had plenty of work to do, but he managed to run down the kennel mate and the litter mate in Lily Zoom, who, to be honest, doesn't lose any admirers. It was a good performance from her as well, but just didn't quite have the class that Electrojet did.
Brett, your take on the outcome of that race?
Yeah, it was a strong performance from Electrojet, and was able to get a pretty nice run from box one, obviously following Lily Zoom forward. Those two greyhounds, began the best, and there was obviously a fair bit of trouble behind. We hope everything's okay there, but Electrojet did everything right. 23.77 is a good time as well, so a bit to look forward to there for Electrojet. Yep,
indeed. We'll cut to the shot of the presentation right now as James Vandermart circles around Michelle and Jack. Well aware of that, thank you. And Corey, Michelle's been one of the better trainers over the past couple of years, hasn't she? I mean, obviously it's circled around Matt Locke, but as Ethan mentioned before, it's stomping, and there's been a number of dogs that have performed well for her.
There's a lot of trainers that you look at the form guide as a punter and you know that those dogs are going to be really well prepared. They're going to be turned out well to the races, and Michelle is absolutely one of those. Probably flies under the radar in comparison to some of the bigger kennels. She doesn't have the biggest numbers that we've ever seen, but she is a trainer that does the best thing by her dog. She places them really well. She has good strike rates, and she turns out these dogs that are well bred, they're well put together, they look good on race night. And as a punter, that's the first thing that you really want, isn't it, Brett? That you know you're going to be given an opportunity because the trainer's doing everything right.
100%, and sometimes those kennels with smaller numbers, they can have one more one-on-one time with these greyhounds and really sort of get those little 1-2%ers out of them that can see consistent improvement. So you quite often see some of these really sharp, smaller kennels have good strike rates, and they're the ones that you want to look out for as a punter. And yeah, those two greyhounds went superb.
And obviously we see this win, the Quinella over the 425. We'll see Matt Locke over the shorter trip later on as well. But she had Aston Velvet win a Hume Cup a few years ago, and we've seen some of her greyhounds step up to 700 metres as well. So it's not like she's just a short course sort of trainer. She wins races over all distances, and I think that's a sign of someone that knows what they're doing, Patch.
Stomping raced over 700, didn't he?
Yeah, he got up.
Despite his bread and butter being 600.
Yep, he absolutely did. So plenty of dogs that have had plenty of ability have come through the Malia kennel over the last few years, and all credit to Michelle and the team.
100%. All right, that's the Pink Diamond Rookie Short Course. Then we now move on to the Pink Diamond Rookie Sprinter Final over the 500 metres. And I tell you what, the quality of this card picks up quick smart in this race. We've got Hurricane, Distinction, both contestants in recent Group 1s. Dustin is absolutely flying. So fair to say things go up a gear here, Corey.
Speed, and more speed. I think most punters probably set themselves up here in Victoria and look at the first splits at Sandown and the Meadows, and you think around that 5 flat sort of time, and you work from there when you're going to other tracks. And a lot of these dogs have run 5 flat or gone even quicker. Obviously, we've seen Distinction run some ridiculous early splits, 494 at Sandown just 3 starts ago. Very capable of running 5.0s each and every week, as is a dog like Dr. Will. We've seen Dustin break 5 seconds at the Meadows. Hurricane, I know, stepped up to the middle distance and went into a seriously rich vein of form, but it's run 5.02s itself. So there's a lot of dogs in this that I think are going to be looking for the same position in the early stages of the race, and it's just who can be the one that gets their neck in front, is tough, a little bit gritty, and can get themselves just flying out and highballing, because I think that's the way that this race is going to be won.
Yes, and again, as we've spoken about throughout the night, the bend start's going to be an element of how this race unfolds. And Brett Honey, I want to speak to you about number 5 here in Dustin, because we speak about the other names here who have a lot of glamour about them, who competed in good races, even as far as Dr. Will, who was a recent winner of a free-for-all at Sandown. With Dustin, he hasn't competed against anywhere near that standard of greyhound, but his times are unbelievable. So how do you read that from a greyhound who's fast, who hasn't been in this company before? What does it mean in a situation like tonight?
I think the beauty with Dustin, if you do like him, this is a greyhound that needs to lead to win this race. So if he's in front, the greyhound doesn't know what's behind him in terms of class and things like that. Now, if he was a dog who's probably going to have to, use a bit of field navigation to win a race like this, that is a completely different story against the good dogs, and we can see greyhounds stepping up, get found out that way. But I think with Dustin, he's got the early speed to be able to step up to this kind of class, and if he does get his way and find the front, in doing so, he's going to have to actually cross a few of his key rivals, which means that they're going to be inconvenienced, and I think that could allow him to skip away. So, look, he's got it all to do because he's one of several greyhounds in this race who need to lead to win. But if you do like him and you like his map, I wouldn't be overly concerned about Step Up and Grey because he does need to lead to win.
And before we speak about some of the other main chances in this race and a couple of replays too, I did want to mention number 6 here, Smithy, in Bold Sight. I've loved the way he's handled business in his past couple of runs. It looks like he can run. Now, tonight might be too soon for him to perform on this sort of stage, but I reckon he's got a future.